In today's episode, we're talking about how to stay grounded once you leave your sanctuary. Welcome to Feng Shui Living, the podcast designed for busy women who want to de-stress, live with intention, and create a home that truly supports their well-being. Each week, I'll bring you practical tips, insightful ideas, and simple strategies to enhance both your home and your life. Let's get started. Hi, friends. It's Lisa, and welcome back to Feng Shui Living podcast, where we explore the ways energy, design, and intention come together to create harmony in your home and in your life. And we are getting close, so close to my book launch. I'm so excited. The parties are being planned because we are going to celebrate. Man, this has been 11 months of really intense writing and really intense work with my coach, my editor, and the design team. And I'm ready to celebrate. And I'm just so excited to get this piece of work out into the world and into your hands. If you have missed any of the information, make sure you're on my list, on my email newsletter list. I send out a newsletter once a week with the weekly podcast episode, but also all the details for my book release. So I hope you'll check that out. You can also pop over to my Instagram at Feng Shui Living Podcast or my personal account at Pure Living with Lisa Morton, and you can go to the show notes to find links to those. Today, I want to talk about something that extends beyond your home. We don't often go outside of the home, but today we're going to go outside of the home because when we can feng shui, we can feng shui our bedrooms and our front doors and our home offices and all those spaces. But what about when we step out into the world? What about when we're at a restaurant, a busy, bustling restaurant, maybe a hotel, or sitting in that crowded coffee shop? The truth is, energy is everywhere, and your ability to stay grounded and protected doesn't stop when you leave your home. There are so many small intentional things that you can do to stay in flow no matter where you're at. It's funny because I got inspired to do this episode. I actually just put all these notes together because I went to a coffee shop this morning. I met my friend Zoe for a coffee at a newer coffee shop near me that's cute and I really want to support, but oh my goodness, it is so incredibly loud. It's a snug space. There's a huge kid play area, which just makes a lot of noise. The acoustics are not supportive, and it's quite an experience. We made it through an hour coffee session. It was just a very intense session. I really had to employ my feng shui toolkit to get me through this coffee meeting. So let's talk about it. The truth is, the energy you bring with you is what's most important. You have so much knowledge from listening to all the episodes. So remember and think about how you can take it with you. Okay. Back in my aircraft design days, I was constantly on the go. I was in a different airport all the time. I was in hotels in new cities every week. And I noticed how some spaces felt good and others really didn't. At the time, I didn't have the language for what it was yet. I could sense it. I could sense the difference between a space that supported me versus one that drained me. For example, a hotel room that felt very comforting and relaxing versus a hotel room that kept me on edge. And that's when I really started paying attention to energy in public spaces. Again, I did not have the language for it. I didn't understand what I was experiencing, but I was noticing it. When you're sensitive or intuitive, or maybe even just an empathetic human being, your environments around you, they matter. And here's the good news. You can carry your sense of alignment wherever you go. Once you leave that sanctuary of home, you can take that toolkit with you. Think of it like invisible feng shui. These subtle adjustments that help you feel safe, grounded, and at ease, even in the busiest location. So let's talk about dining with intention. Let's start with restaurants because it's, in my opinion, might be one of the easiest to put into practice. If you can, ask for a table where you can see the entrance off to in front of you or off to a side, but then have a solid wall behind you. In feng shui, this is what is called the command position. So you want to be able to see the door, solid wall behind you. Now, I used to be that person where I would accept whatever table the hostess would give me. And then for some reason, my husband and I got in this I don't want to say it's a routine, but for some reason, every time we would go out to dinner, the two of us, we would be placed at the most bizarre location directly next to the bathroom door, in a front bar corner window with all these standing bar patrons bumping into me as I'm trying to eat my dinner. Really odd placements. And I got to thinking, you know what? I'm here to enjoy myself. I want to enjoy this food. I want to enjoy the conversation with my husband. I'm no longer going to do this. So I started asking for specific tables. Now, I do this when I make a reservation, but also I figure it doesn't hurt to ask if we just walk into a restaurant. Hey, can I have that table over there against the wall versus one floating out in the middle in the walkway? And most people will be accommodating. And if not, then that's not the restaurant we are meant to eat at that night. So first of all, let me say this. Do not be afraid to ask for a table that will provide you with a better experience, because I'm sure the restaurant owner would want you to have the most amazing experience possible. When you're sitting with your back to the door at a restaurant, your body stays a little bit at alert, stays a little on alert. You might not even realize it, but your nervous system senses it, senses the movement behind you, the sound, the people walking, the dishes clanking. When you're facing the door, though, your body can relax. You might feel your shoulders drop. You might be able to take a deeper breath. Your energy settles. You're more present for your meal, for whoever you're dining with, and also just for yourself. It's one of those really small shifts that make a big, big difference. So do not be afraid to ask for the table in the corner with the view of the door and the solid wall behind. Now let's talk about hotel rooms and Airbnbs or short-term rentals. When you're staying somewhere new, the energy in the space, it isn't yours. Other people have been in there. Other people have brought their energy in there before you, and sometimes you can feel it. One of the first things I do whenever I enter a hotel room is I open the window. Very first thing, I place my suitcase on the luggage rack and then walk over to open the window. It might even be just for a minute or two, but I let fresh air circulate and clear away any lingering energy from anyone who's been there before. And then I'll take a moment to set an intention, something simple, and I'll speak to the room just like it's a friend and say, this space supports my rest and renewal while I'm here. Simple as that. You can also bring some sort of aromatherapy mist. I travel with my Gucci space clearing spritz, always in my bag. You can also clap your hands in the corners to shift any energy. I've also cranked up my phone and played some beautiful cleansing sounds. And in the corners of the hotel room, I'll just carry my phone around and turn it up and get that vibration. And of course, we need to check the bed placement. If possible, choose a spot that isn't directly in line with the door. Now, you probably aren't going to be able to move the bed in a hotel room. maybe in a short-term rental, but in a hotel room, you're going to kind of have to make do. I one time slept on the very edge of the mattress because there was a door opposite the bed. But if I slept over just so, I didn't see the door, which was kind of funny. Had another time I was at a hotel and there was an overhead design with lights that it was supposed to look architectural, artistic, but really it was just a beam over my head. And if you've listened to the podcast, we've talked about beams are not good feng shui. They can bring headaches and just an oppressive feeling. So instead of sleeping like a normal person on this bed, I slept sideways on the bed so that I didn't have to do that. I actually propped up a chair and made another headboard on the side. So sometimes we have to get creative. So check that bed placement. Uh, Actually, about a year ago, I was in Naples, Florida, and I had a room that the mirror, there was a mirror opposite the bed. So this time what I did is I took the luggage rack, I took my suitcase, and then I opened the suitcase and propped it open so it would stay open almost as a buffer, right? You can symbolically buffer that energy. So get creative in hotel rooms. Also something as simple as draping maybe a scarf or a throw. I always travel with a scarf or a throw because I get chilly on planes, but you can drape this over a mirror. You can drape this somewhere to create again, that energetic buffer. You might want to place a crystal on your nightstand to help the space feel more like yours. So again, the coffee shop this morning, it was a thing. It was wild. Next up, we're talking coffee shops, waiting rooms, and oh my goodness, airports. These can feel like the trickiest environments because they're full of movement. There's so much going on. There's people making coffee. There's people making food, people coming and going, energy constantly flowing and shifting and moving. In places like that, I look for a seat where I can feel contained, maybe in a corner or with a wall to one side, somewhere where I can observe and do interesting airport people watching while not being in the middle of that current. If I'm in a crowded airport or a waiting room, I'll visualize a soft, golden light really around me. Not so much as a barrier, but just more like a little energetic bubble. It's a reminder that I'm safe, I'm centered, and I'm grounded. So you might feel a little weird, but just close your eyes for a moment and take a breath in and visualize this energetic golden bubble surrounding your body. Again, it sounds woo, it sounds out there, but it works. All right, let's move into some small tools for energy shifts. Now, this section is for anywhere, whether you're in a taxi, in a museum, you're in an airport, wherever. These are small little tools that pack a big punch. I often travel with a crystal like black tourmaline or tiger's eye in my pocket for grounding. Sometimes, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I need that sense of stability. I'll just slide my hand in my pocket, feel my stone, touch it, reconnect, and it's just like an instant. I can feel my feet on the earth again. You can carry a stone in your purse, in if you have a wallet, wherever. Just hold it for a moment when you need that moment to recenter. I also love to wear beautiful jewelry, and I have a howlite beaded bracelet that I wear a lot. Howlite is great for peace and calm, and I'll wear this a lot when I travel. And it's a beaded bracelet, so I'll sit there and touch the beads one at a time, almost as if I was going through some mala beads. It's It's just a moment to connect to that peace and calm. Now, we talked about the good cheese space clearing spritz or some sort of aromatherapy spritz, but any calming mist or essential oil blend can also reset the world around you. This could be a subtle spritz, maybe a drop on your wrist. I love several companies of essential oils. I don't stick to just one, but I do specifically love doTERRA because they have really nice blends in a roller ball, and they're excellent to travel with. So there are a few different ones that I might travel with, but the roller ball, you can just dab it on your wrist and it travels so well. Just this moment of a drop of oil on your wrist or somewhere, even in your hands, and just inhale the aroma, it can help anchor your energy when things are feeling hectic. But my favorite of all is just a grounding breath. Take a slow inhale and imagine drawing energy up from the earth. Hold it for a moment, and then exhale and imagine releasing anything that doesn't belong to you. This moment of just one inhale, pause for just a moment, and release and let go. You can do it anywhere, and no one even knows that you're realigning your energy as you're just sitting there breathing. So the next time you head out into the world, whether it's dinner with your friends, a weekend getaway, or a work meeting, remember that you are the energy you bring with you. Feng Shui is not about perfection. It's about awareness. It's about noticing how your surroundings affect you and then making these small, intuitive choices that help you feel supported, maybe seen, and most importantly, safe. When you start practicing this kind of awareness outside your home, outside that sanctuary, something really beautiful begins to happen. You might begin to realize you are your own sanctuary. Until next time, friends, I hope you move through your day and out in the world with a grounded heart, open energy, and that confidence to choose the spaces and ask for the table in the corner because it feels really good to your soul. Special thanks to our sponsor, Elevated Living School of Holistic Design and Feng Shui. For more information, head over to the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share this episode with a friend. We'll see you next time.